Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to talk about creating your listing. This is actually the bulk of, everything we've been talking about. This actually is where it culminates into a actionable step where we set up our listings, we post them on Peerspace, on Gigster, and we get the ball rolling. So we've done all the preparation work. We've gone through those worksheets. We've created our niche. We know how to target them. We know how to message them, and we know how to sell them with an offer that they just can't refuse. So finally, we're going to bring all of that together and go ahead and create our listing. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today what we're going to cover is we're going to talk about the listing process overview, just pretty much a high level. Here's what happens, here's how long it takes, what to expect. We're going to talk about listing requirements, listing guidelines, the winning listing formula, which is attract, satisfy, and evolve. And then finally, we're going to go through a live demo before hitting the summary. So essentially what we're doing in these these first few bullet points here are just some quick notes and reminders about what do's and do nots with your listing. The reason we have them is essentially to make sure that your listing goes through the review process as seamlessly and fast as possible so that you can actually start having bookings. So, as always, tag along on our newsletter at omg-rentals.com/newsletter. You'll find important updates regarding the course here. You can also follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. The handle is at omg.rentals. And if you like the course, please share the course. Lastly, this is a warning. This is the most important video in the entire course as of this moment, so pay attention. And as a pro tip, if you want to go through it a little bit faster, feel free to watch the video in 2 or 2.5 times speed. Great. So starting off is the listing process. The listing process is fairly simple. And this is with both accounts, whether it's a Gigster or a Peerspace account. All you have to do is you're going to create an account. So sign up for a host account, verify your phone or your email, and verify banking information. Uh, that's the way you get paid. So super important you do this, make it seamless. You'll set up Stripe. Stripe is super easy to set up. They will walk you through it. And there's plenty of online guides of how to do it, but really it is very, very simple, very intuitive, so super simple. After you create your account, you're going to submit your space. That is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the listing descriptions, the photos, everything you need to know to actually submit your space. Then we are going into, once you submit your space, it goes into a review process. It takes up to 10 days, 10 business days. Most cases, it's 3 to 5 business days. So that's why we have a few guidelines and requirements that we're going to discuss just to make sure that your listing is situated and perfectly set up um, so you don't have any delays with your listing getting published. Finally, once the review process has ended, you'll get a notice of activation. And this is when you receive a welcome email from Peerspace or Gigster, and it just lets you know that, hey, your listing is activated. Um, you know, welcome to the platform. Listing requirements. So, part of the listing requirements is you need a complete host profile. That means you need your full name, your photo, and a bio. Really, this does nothing. All it does is establish credibility. Um, it doesn't. They don't check your ID or anything like that. However, when you sign up and you set up your Stripe account will um, have your ID and verify your information for tax purposes. Detailed description. So with your space, you need a detailed description that accurately describes your space. You're going to talk about your amenities, the layout, and any unique features. We are going to have quality photos. We need at least 5 of them. that showcases different angles and highlights of your space that you're putting up on Peerspace or Gigster. Accurate pricing and availability. This is important. You want to clearly list your rates, any additional fees, and keep calendars up to date. Yep, so you're going to need to keep your calendars up to date, clearly listing your rates and describe any additional fees. Yep, so you'll need to keep your calendars up to date, whether you use a Google Calendar, Calendly, Acuity scheduling, or any of the above. Maybe a completely different tool, but keeping your calendar up to date, as well as listing out any additional fees. So if you want to charge like a cleaning fee, if you are going to charge based off attendee, this is it's super important that you just clearly and accurately depict your space for renters. Next, you're going to talk about your house rules as well as safety guidelines. We touched on this in the worksheets, but specify any rules, occupancy limits, or safety information that renters should expect when working with you. Keep in mind this does not have to be super written out, as all bookings are subject to Peerspace and Gigster service agreement as well as their terms and conditions. So when people rent through these platforms, they already agree to a blanket statement of rules, if you will, on which determines how they need to act. So, for example, like no guns are allowed, and that's a Peerspace and Gigster policy. So it's just keeping the safety of the community in mind and making sure it's enacted. So when you write out your rules, you don't have to be super over the top with these, but make sure you read Peerspace and Gigster's agreements, their terms and conditions, and make sure you are comfortable with any of the rules set forth, as those will be the guidelines for your bookings. So next up, we have listing guidelines. Listing guidelines, these are just things to keep in mind and tips and best practices when writing out your listing. So you want to make sure all the content you put out is relevant. It contributes to the objective, the overall message you're trying to send, and it's appropriate. You do not want to have any inappropriate content. Don't upload anything that promotes illegal or harmful activity. You can't threaten, harass, have any hate speech or other displays of bigotry. So, I think most people will be plenty fine here, but even if you, I would just say for the initial listing, you just want to take photos of your space. Don't get creative with like having marketing photos and other people in it just to display how like the space has been used in the past or anything like that. Simply just post photos of the space. Make sure not to include anything that's inappropriate. You want to have accurate submissions, so your listings must honestly represent your space and just be fully transparent when it comes to pricing and booking requirements and privacy. So make sure you're not publicizing your own or other people's private information. So this includes your address, your phone number, your email, your website, and photos like we just talked about with marketing photos. Like if you want to show marketing photos of how the space has been used in the past, this isn't really the time to do that. This is where your listing is getting its initial review. So simply keep the photos of the space. Don't post anyone else in it, because you just don't want to have any reason to have your listing delayed from getting published. So again, keep it all about the space, keep it transparent, and you will be plenty fine. Lastly, we're going to touch on the winning listing formula that I've found, and really it's just 3 steps. So it's attract, satisfy, and evolve. Attract, this is how you make your listing appealing and competitive in the market space. So, and again, these are just tidbits before we dive into the listing and we do a live demo. But the tidbits are, you want to use an inviting and descriptive title. It all starts with your title. You want to start with a compelling and opening hook and make sure you're capturing those keywords in your title So like we talked about, whatever group of people, whatever your target audience is, you want to include that target audience as well as the event that they're hosting in your title if you can, as well as location. Those are going to be your three kind of power plays, if you will, of making your listing just go over the top. So maybe you have like Atlanta photo shoot or Atlanta engagement slash proposal, um, for, XYZ. Sorry, I'm a little tired this morning. Haven't had my coffee, so but yeah, in your title, have a compelling opening hook, and also make sure to capture all those keywords in your title. Um, Next, you're going to want to highlight, and this is just in your listing, highlight all key amenities and unique features. Describe the layout and the key areas of the space. So this is really just going to walk your guest and your potential clients through, hey, here's what it is. You're going to want to pretty much answer all of their questions and anticipate what they're going to think and what they're going to need, and what they're going to ask in this listing. The better you're able to do that, the more sales you're going to receive. So definitely highlight your key amenities, describe all the benefits that you're offering, and give them a layout, give them a lay of the land, if you will. Next, you're going to want to make sure all descriptions are clear, concise, and inviting. So be friendly, but also make sure you are embedding each of these descriptions with keywords with an extra emphasis on your headings and subheadings. That's just a SEO tidbit. The way it kind of structures themselves is headings, your H1, H2, H3, and H4 tags are what they call them. But those are your most impactful in terms of where you want to put keywords. That's just how your listing is structured, uh, and it's how it becomes relevant within the search engine results. So definitely, if you have the chance, use keywords in your descriptions within those headings and subheadings. And if not, use those keywords throughout your descriptions. And that goes to say, whenever there's a chance to write out a description, you should write out a description. So for example, the amenities, you can write out descriptions for each amenity you have, right? So this is the perfect place to, although it seems tedious and a little bit of work, it totally is, but this is where you will be able to stand out way more than your competitors just because you take the extra time to do so. And again, you have ChatGPT on your side, so really this is just a few minutes of extra work, but it goes a long way. Lastly, adjust your pricing availability according to demand and seasons. So continuously update your listing monthly or at a minimum quarterly to improve your listing's SEO. What this means, and these are good tidbits too. So your pricing, you're going to adjust your pricing based off your customer feedback, as well as your personal preference, but continuously adjust your pricing to find where you can optimize and maximize your profit. As for availability, you always want to have your availability linked to a Google Calendar or some sort of calendar that you use. This is one of those things that will also improve the visibility of your listing just by using a online or digital calendar that's linked and continuously updates. Peerspace will give you essentially a mark and bump your listing for having that check, because people who use those online calendars typically are less likely to cancel on events that have been booked. So that's the incentive there. If you don't use a calendar, definitely start using one. It will help the visibility of your listing. And lastly, this last sentence here of continuously updating your space, whether it's monthly or quarterly. This is just a general rule of SEO. You want to essentially use the platform as much as you can. The more you use it, the more that platform's going to reward you for being an active user. So changing it monthly or changing it quarterly to highlight different seasons. So we're coming up on Christmas. So maybe you have a Christmas bonus. It could be something simple. You don't have to revamp the entire listing and all the keywords, but something super simple as in offering a Christmas discount, Valentine's Day discount, and just staying with the time, a New Year's discount, right? There's always reasons to offer discounts, and the more you update your listing, the more Peerspace and Gigster will see that you're one of their super users, quote unquote, and will push your listing to the front of the line. And lastly, you can, with all your photos, make sure you save the file names of each photo with keyword-rich names to improve search visibility. Again, super simple concept, but you're going to essentially save down your photos as keywords, location, event type, .jpeg, .png, whatever it is, and upload those. Just another way of improving your search visibility, as really those three search uh, the three things people mainly search by when using these platforms are the location, the event type, and the date. So make sure you are always kind of just searching descriptions and your keywords or your file names to match those things that you're trying to attract. So number 2 is satisfy, optimizing for guest needs. So attract is all about the SEO and the listing and how you can rank for visibility. Satisfy is now we need to think about this logically with your listing. You want to optimize your listing not only so it's just filled with keywords and will help the visibility, but also to make it super logical and flow as like a conversation, right? So the first thing you want to do is anticipate and address guest concerns in your FAQs to reduce back and forth, right? So the first things that are constantly asked are going to be, what's your capacity? How many people are allowed? And then 2, what's the parking situation? Is it easy to bring up decorations? Do you provide decorations? So these are the things that people are going to consistently ask you. And so in your listing and the flow of it, you're going to want to include these things at the top of your FAQs. This is just going to reduce the back and forth and hopefully provide your customer with the answers that they need in order to quickly address the concern and hopefully convert them into a sale. So clearly outline all available amenities and capacity limits, detail any additional services. Again, this is your chance to upsell them, show them what you have to offer, highlight all the benefits that your space provides and why it's perfect for this type of person and for this specific event. You're going to emphasize location benefits, so always mention any nearby attractions, how convenient transport options are. So if someone's having a birthday party and they just want to host a pregame and are going out later that night, you can say you're centrally located in the city, nearby, all the bars and clubs, so very convenient. XYZ, whatever it is, every location has benefits, so make sure you're highlighting what those benefits are and spelling them out for your guest. Lastly, this is huge too, is respond promptly to your inquiries, booking requests, and booking updates. These are the 3 things that you get ranked on in terms of timing. So when someone first messages you with a new inquiry, when someone requests to book your space, and if someone requests to update their booking due to like rain or anything else, the faster you respond to these 3 key events, the better your response time will be, the happier customers will be. And again, it just overall improves your visibility and the page. So huge things there. And this is actually lastly, is maintain a competitive pricing strategy based on market research, continuously refine your pricing, continuously check to make sure that you're, see how your competitors are pricing, see all the value that you provide your customers, and make sure you're overstacking that value equation and providing your customers with just insane value and making sure that you are always receiving those 5-star reviews. If you're not receiving those 5-star reviews, it's time to take a step back, maybe consider what's going on, and if you do need to reduce pricing, or if you need to change something else, some other strategy within your listing. Lastly, we have Evolve. This is just tips for keeping your listing updated. Like we talked about, whether you change your listing monthly or quarterly, the more you interact with your listing and with your page, the better it's going to be for the visibility of the page. So regularly update FAQs based on your recent guest interactions. Uh, after bookings, see what they said, see what they have to say about your space, any reviews, and make sure that you're updating these FAQs and updating your listing based on those interactions. So you're providing your next guest or the people who scroll across on your listing page, you're answering those questions immediately for them so that they don't even have to reach out and they feel like the space is for them, because a lot of times some people won't even reach out, right? Like the people who reach out are those who are genuinely interested versus there's so many more people who actually click into your listing, see it, and may come back to it or may not. So it really is your one time to try to sell them, and a lot of this goes into your FAQs and the listing descriptions and your photos. Number two, reflect any new amenities, policies, or space changes in the description. Talked about that. Adjust your pricing or availability according to demand and seasons, right? So if you have Christmas season, if you have Thanksgiving coming up, just make sure you are adjusting your calendar to reflect your availability. The last thing you want to do is have cancellations. Cancellations will tank your listing visibility. So make sure your calendar is up to date. Make sure you're happy with your pricing strategy. Use your guest reviews to understand common feedback for improvements, and consistent updates improve search visibility and guest trust. Great. So I know some of it was repeating, but we will finally go into a live demo here. So I pulled up Peerspace. We are going to, in the top right, sign up for a space. I created a somewhat fake account here just to do this listing for the first time with you guys. Great. So when you sign up for an account, you hit sign up, you put in your email, you put in the password you want. The first thing you come to is complete your profile. Uh, you're going to want to add a profile picture. Let's see if I Okay, so I didn't have a quick photo to show, so I just went to a web page called This Person Does Not Exist, generated a photo of, a white male, age 26 to 35. And that's the photo I am going to use, so I just took a quick snippet of that. And this, again, is just all for purposes. At this point, you will be actually putting in a real photo of yourself. So I will go to Browse, Pictures. I'm going to upload that profile pic that we just selected. You can crop this however you want. Make sure it has your face so that people can see you, recognize you. It just adds a layer of trust, right? So now we have our profile picture. I am going to say, my name is John Doe. Company, you don't have to fill in company name or job title. You don't even need a phone number, but if you do want your phone number, put your phone number here. Phone number is a great thing to have because this is, for any booking updates, they'll text you. They text you with inquiries. It really helps your responsiveness. So I recommend putting a phone number, but for now, I'm just going to leave it as is, and we are going to complete the sign up. As you see, it's asking me for a verification key, so it just jumped over to my Gmail, and I am waiting for that code to come across. Okay, sorry about that. It took a few seconds to populate. So you'll enter that verification code, and once you go back to your profile, you should see that you are all verified. So all set, you got the check mark right here. So the next thing you'll need to do is we will go back to Peerspace, and if you click your profile in the top right corner, you'll see list your space. So click list your space, and follow. Yeah, so here's a little, it's pretty much a what you call it, a landing page to get you into the listing. It talks about the liability insurance, the damage guarantee, your trust and safety, um, FAQs, uh, gives you some quick facts about Peerspace. So you have a bunch to look at, and all you have to do to get started is say, you just say get started. So we're going to do, I have a loft, get started. So your space address will not be displayed publicly. Please note that. I am just creating a generic one. So we'll use one of the old spaces. So address, you fill in your address. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. Billing address is the same or different. Once you fill in those details, you click next. What type of space are you listing? We already have the apartment loft. Do you offer overnight stays at this space? It's super important to say no here. Peerspace does not, and same with Gigster, they do not offer overnight stays, so say no. Describe your parking options. We have free, we have on-site, street parking, valet, paid, metered, and there's a nearby parking lot. And here's where you write a description of your parking, of the parking options. Great. So you guys are going to absolutely love me, or at least I hope. So remember all those worksheets that we did, that we spent time on doing? Here's where it all comes and pays off. So all you have to do is go to ChatGPT. You are going to go to those example worksheets that we've all created, right? Download them. And all you have to do is simply upload them, each and every one of them, to your ChatGPT conversation. One moment. Great. So once you've downloaded those uh, worksheets that we created, you simply upload them into your ChatGPT and say, based on the uploaded worksheets, can you help me create a SEO-infused description for the parking situation at my loft? It is as simple as that, guys. You will literally just ask ChatGPT to help you create, help you just create a description, and then you'll go back and you will park that right into your description of your parking options. Security options. Do you have cameras and recording devices? If yes, hit yes. If no, hit no. And again, if you say yes, you will have the choice to have a description of where the devices are. And again, whenever you have the chance for a description, feel free to be sneaky and start throwing in your keywords. For the sake of time, I'm going to say no, and we're going to continue. Now we need a title. So, who's your best friend? It's ChatGPT. Can you help me come up with a SEO friendly title and about the listing description for my space? Perfect. You can strip this title. You move right into right here and a description for your space. You can move, just take, obviously revise it, make sure it sounds right, make sure it reads right. And this, I am just kind of cutting and pasting to show you how it's done. There's example descriptions here too, so if you want more advice on how, feel free to look into the Peerspace FAQs. But the ultimate part, ultimately what we're supposed to do is have a structured about page that helps our potential client understand what exactly they are getting by booking our space and making sure that description is filled with keywords. So how big is your space? Let's just say 2,000 square feet. Do you have any house rules? Again, can you help me type out the house rules for my space? Take all of this, make sure it is the rules that you are wanting it to say. Who's allowed in your spaces, all ages, is there certain, do you have 21 up and up restriction, whatever it is, and then Wi-Fi name and password. So Peerspace and password, just say password for now. Obviously fill in all of this information with accurate details. This is just me going through it to show you how it's done, but make sure you're providing real details for your listing. No one will be able to see this. This is only if someone books your space, what they, the information they'll be provided. So can you come up with rival instructions for accessing my space? You see how ChatGPT even has like your contact number. So make sure you read these because you don't want to have stuff that says, insert address. It just doesn't, it's going to look pretty weird when your when your host or your client receives these things and they're not filled in. So read through those ChatGPT instructions and those descriptions. Make sure it is stuff you agree with. And then lastly, edit it to make sure you have your info or whatever info you're looking to put there, make sure it is included. Great. So next we need to upload some photos. So this is where you will go. For now, we talk about this in the in our next course actually. So for now, just come up with some photos. And upload them here. I'm just simply going to skip this step because, this is a fake listing. So I don't quite have anything for you guys. I guess it make me ads. Let me create some in ChatGPT and I'll be right back. Okay, awesome. So I just quickly created some photos within ChatGPT and named them 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will drag those over now. Pretty, right? This is the space. I don't know where that went, but okay, yeah. So I'll drag these options over here. So you can see I just named them 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I have an error. Wonder what that is. Interesting that it failed. Looks like it just needed to be retried. Not sure why. Maybe I was moving too fast. But this is where I was talking about earlier. When you want to save, don't do 1, 2, 3, 4. Save these listing photos, save the file names with keywords. So I know it's small, I know it's tedious, but this is just how you're going to beat your competitors. So uh, take your time with this, save your photos, and definitely word of advice too. Follow these requirements. You need high res, horizontal, color photos. Don't do collages or anything, and follow their recommendations. Add 10 or more high quality photos. Definitely, that's a minimum requirement. Do 10, preferably do 20. 20 is a good sweet spot. You are allowed up to 100, which is crazy, but do at least 10. Take them off your iPhone. And again, we will talk about this in the next course of what you can do in terms of getting photographers out and how to really optimize your space and your listing. So for now, we're happy with this. We will move along. Operating hours. What are your operating hours? Right? Are you closed on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays? Open? Uh, do you want to be open the entire time? Do you want to set your hours? So these are all good options. Once you've applied your calendar, you move on to health and safety measures. Essentially with this, the more the better. Um, no one's really gonna be a stickler or strickler on this and keep you to everything, but it's a good rule of thumb. Keep your place clean. So do you clean up after people? Um, Make sure you disinfect stuff, right? So these are very simple. It's just check boxes. They really started this during COVID, but make sure that these are all good ads that you can have and you can give your guest, right? So they have the option for hand sanitizer. Check whichever of these apply. It's super simple. And if they don't apply, don't check them. And again, whenever you have the opportunity to, you want to fill in a description. So go to ChatGPT, ask it to write up a cleaning process, embed your keywords. I think you guys get the point so I'm not going to do that, but you guys absolutely should. Oh, I guess I have to. I lied. So, like I said, give me just a second. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT here, and I will pull it into views just so you guys can see what I'm looking at. While I wait, I'm gonna be the man and I'm gonna check everything because I do it all. If it's an option, you should do it. It will improve your visibility. I know some of these are a little bit crazy, so it's ultimately you want to be transparent, don't lie. Someone eventually will ask about one of these things and notice that it's not 100% true. It's it's just how it goes. So be transparent, be truthful. I know Simple saying. It's simple, but sometimes the simple things are hard. Anyways, now we got our ChatGPT response. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it. We're going to move on. Great. So now we are choosing our cancellation policy. This is huge, guys. This is a huge seller. Um, the one I like to do is very flexible. I mean, more often than not, I've had people become repeat buyers just because I've offered such flexibility. I actually had one like 2 weeks ago, and it's just you like there's no reason to have, especially as you're starting out, like we want to be the most flexible we possibly can for those larger events anyways. People typically aren't going to cancel. So for the bigger events where you're making a good amount of money, you're not going to have to worry. It's truly just those small events um, that might cancel because of rain or because of some unfortunate circumstance. But I always recommend just, as you're learning and as you're building, and just general rule of thumb, like if someone wants to cancel, let them cancel. It may suck because you could have filled in the space uh, with a different booking, but until you're really at that point where you're getting all of these bookings, and that's becoming a problem, I just say keep it very flexible and always, always focus on providing your customer with the utmost support. And this can actually double as a reason of why they should book, right? So when you give an in-person tour, this is also like one of those guarantees and one of those reassurances where, hey, by the way, we understand we have an outdoor space. Uh, if you do choose to, if something comes up, if there's rain, we offer the most flexible cancellation policy we're allowed to, which is 24 hours before the booking. You just have to let us know. We'll give you a full refund, and no questions asked. We just do that because we want to make sure our guests are super happy with the space and with the booking. Right? Something is so simple where you are going to, that guarantee is probably going to close you a lot more deals than having a different type of flexibility or a different type of cancellation policy. So that's the one I recommend. You can obviously choose flexible, standard 30-day, or standard 90-day. Just read your options, choose whichever one suits you the best, um, and go from there. But again, my selection is very flexible. I think it's the best. Moving on, what activities would you like to host? So this is where we talked about this. This is where you use those worksheets that we worked on, and what type of meetings are you comfortable hosting in your space? For mine, we're going to go and talk about media productions, right? So we're gonna hit the hourly rate. Uh, we're gonna do 2 hour minimum. I'm gonna do a 15% 8-hour discount. Cleaning fee is additional flat fee, $25, and everyone can book instantly. And see, they even give you notes, and again, you can learn more, but you get 2 times more bookings when you have instant book allowed. To have instant book, you need to have your calendar attached. So I totally recommend it. These are all things we talked about in our worksheet, so I know I'm kind of moving through it quicker, but if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out in the community, tag me, and if you want a slower video, we can go back and I will move through this at a slower pace as well. We also do have other trainings that are more specific on each of these options and why they're important. So maximum number of guests, I'm going to go with 40. Amenities, again, here's where your amenities are included. So you can click any of these that you have, right? So we have natural light, parking, lighting equipment, don't have a green screen, video equipment, soundproof, kitchen, tables, chairs, sink, no freight elevator, public transport, restrooms, dressing room. It is not wheelchair accessible, sandbag, steamer, we do have that. We have that. We have blackout blinds, street level access. Yes, right. So you have all your amenities, and if there's something that's not included on this list, feel free to add it, right? So par lights, for example, add them. Whatever it is, moving head. Whatever the thing is, feel free to add it here. Uh, in this, there's so many add-ons you can have. So throw them here. This is super important because these are your bonuses. These are offers you essentially can increase the value add of your listing by just having those. This is one of the last pieces. You are just going to review the Peerspace policies, and it is keep conversations on Peerspace. Use Peerspace to process payments. Follow the booking, cancellation, and overtime policies. Make sure my space meets local regulations. You just need to attest to each of these. And with all of that, you will submit. Sweet. Yeah, and that's literally it, guys. It is super simple. Who will guest be contacting? John Doe. Your phone number if you'd like to add it. Add a profile with your face. How did you hear about us? Let's just say online ad, update your profile. Oh, I guess it makes you actually enter a phone number. So enter your phone number for our sake and purpose. I'll enter this. I'll block it out on the screen, but yep. So enter your phone number, enter the verification code they send you, right? Update your profile, and you are done, guys. Super duper simple, right? Your listing is submitted. You will hear back in 2 to 5 business days. In the meantime, let's get you ready for your first booking. Congratulations, guys. We have done it. We are set up. Um, Here you'll see there's more ways to customize your listing, right? This is where we talk about the descriptions and the booking types. You can add your paid amenities. You can set up your advanced pricing, whether it's based on tiers or whether it's based on weekdays versus weekends, and download the app. It just gives you next steps that are actionable. But congratulations, guys. We have submitted our Peerspace listing. I encourage you to do the exact same thing with Gigster, the exact same process, but we are officially there. So huge congrats. You guys are killing it. Let's just do a quick summary and a recap of this process. So right now, you should expect your listing to be approved in the next week. At the most, they take 10 business days to review your listing. Be patient. There's plenty to do in the meantime, as you saw from those actionable next steps. And again, you are doing great. You have 2 listings uploaded or pending review. Congrats. Now the fun begins. I mean, this is just unreal that, some of us a couple of days ago might have had no idea what this was, and now we are on the way. We have a listing in review. It's an optimized listing and it is tailored. We know who we're targeting. We know what spaces. We're excited about this, and we are on our way to living rent-free. So seriously, pat yourself on the back, guys. It's a huge accomplishment. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we are surely headed in the right direction. So, as always, in our closing statements, you can follow our newsletter at omg-rentals.com/newsletter. You'll get important updates regarding the course here. If you like this course, share the course. And if you really like the course, leave a testimonial at testimonial.to/OMG Rentals. As a bonus, I pick people out to win special prizes from these testimonials. So definitely, if you enjoy it, I would really appreciate it if you left a testimonial, and as well as the fact that you might actually win a prize. So I like to always finish their slides with this. Let's get to work. Congratulations again, guys, and I will see you in the next video.